Good evening. John Augustine here. Hope I find you well. It was a showery day earlier on, but the sun come out there about what time? About 3 or 3:30. I was away most of the day, right back at about 4, and the sun was beginning to come out. So a bit on the late side, shall we say? But better late than never, isn't it? So here we are, Bishop Joseph E. Strickland, and from a diocese which stretched over many counties, 100,000 Catholics in big area where the vast majority are non-Catholics. And when he started off as a bishop, the sort of instructions that were kind of given was manage the affairs, and the money would flow in or something, and delegate and then pray. But he didn't stick to that. As time went on, he focused on what needs to be done. That with the apostles, they're in the footsteps of the apostles, and he took that very serious. And so he pray first, and then these other things can come with your prudence and God-given talents. You're able to sort of manage the affairs without spending your time at that. It's to save souls and nourish the faith, and with the priests that you have in your diocese, to sort of meet them all individually and focus on what it is that you hope to do, and find that that you will support them, but that it's the saving of souls and is the most important thing, and to pass on the great gifts of the Catholic faith, because nowadays it suffers attacks as much as it ever did over the centuries, and perhaps more so now because of the communications and the media that doesn't support it, generally speaking, and even the government and political establishment adopted different attitude towards it, ambiguous, and they inflict various evils on society, the abortion and all the rest of it. So there's a lot to be done to sort of nourish the faith, and the bishop, and he began to take it very serious, or he did take it very serious when he was in it for a bit, and he noticed that other bishops, there was good bishops, there was so on and so forth, and then there was poor bishops, and they were made bishops, and they were good, but they weren't fit for the job in many ways, and so they delegated a lot, and they weren't able to nourish the faith the way it needs to, and speak the truth, and speak about the importance of the various sacraments in the Catholic faith, the sacrament of confession, etc. And he mentioned one episode. He was going into a supermarket in his diocese, and he was wearing his clerical garments. He wouldn't be wearing the sort of people wouldn't be saying mass, but he was wearing his garments that would distinguish him as properly a bishop. If anybody that was a Catholic would probably know that, but being the majority being non-Catholics, but this man, when he's going in, greeted him and said, "Here's the most corrupt." Here's the most corrupt institution in the history of whatever it was. He was quite insulting in some ways, and this is what we sometimes encounter. And Bishop Uh, Tyler didn't say Bishop Strickland didn't indicate he's enjoys it, Tyler. He didn't indicate how he addressed this because I think if a person addressed me in that manner, I'd have to stop and say, "Did you ever hear the word respect?" You're very much mistaken in your statement. I would have liked to hear that response because you've got a person coming out with a like of that. You respond that way, I think. He didn't say that he did that, but that's what I would do because that's liable to happen when you wear your faith, and I do. I have my Jerusalem cross, and funny enough, I had a meal in the hotel in Navan there today because I was up in Dublin and it was in the car parked in the car park in the Airport Hotel. So by the time I finished what I was doing in Dublin, I was kind of hungry, so I decided to have my lunch there about 2 o'clock. And the staff was very friendly. And one lady admired this and wondered what it was. And she had the Celtic cross on her thing, and she had one or two other little things on her uniform. And she's there a good while because I remember myself and my late wife Julie used to have a meal there plenty of times, really, because we kind of went out. Now, not all the time or anything like it, but we did treat ourselves once a week thereabouts, maybe more, even if it was out for a cup of tea and a sandwich or a scone or something like that, just to sort of be out and about. I think that's important. But funny enough, now our sixth anniversary is coming up in July, and I haven't been dining out as much. And I just realised there today that I think I'm going to be doing that once a week now from now on because I wasn't doing it. Now, I was treated by my cousin to a meal there around Christmas or after it, and I was very jolly, and it was in Kells in the hotel there. So I might have a meal there now next week in the hotel in Kells, the Headford. And then I'll go to the Yard Boy in the following week again. I'm going to be doing that now more often because it gives you a bit of a lift, and it gave me a great lift. I was the chap was very friendly and asked me about this. This little cross is the Jerusalem cross. And somebody said it was actually part of the Crusaders and the commandant in the army that had been on the Golan Heights in for the Irish army were trying to keep peace there. And that's a fairly tough area up in the Golan Heights. You can see it from Jerusalem. I wasn't up there, but now you get up there. But some of them was killed there because those people up there don't respect either people of other faiths, So this is the last. This is the word, the lack of respect. So there we are. I hope I was able to paraphrase a bit what Bishop, that marvelous Bishop Strickland, and I'll continue more tomorrow, trying to interpret until I get permission to be able to read. Bye now, and I'll be doing my usual hymns after this. So your little seats there, and hopefully there'll be an odd clap here and there. And then you might burst into song yourself, a hymn. Does us all good, doesn't it? Does me good, and I hope it does you good. Bye now. Diddly-doy-doy-doy.